I keep hearing divide and conquer, and I'm like, what is it? Okay, I personally feel, I used to be a little girl. I always been into like politics and a lot of deep stuff. And I remember being 10 in the car with my own personal wise man, my grandpa, rest in peace to him. And we'd just talk about really deep stuff, even though I was 10. And he always had answers for any question I had. And I remember one time in the car, I got him. He didn't know how to answer it. And I said, Grandpa, at the time at school, I was learning about maps and I was learning about Democrats in America. And I said, Grandpa, why do we have two different parties representing one country? I said, aren't we one? And then as I got older, I just keep seeing how they really still do that. They still divide and conquer because I know I'm friends with Democrats, I'm friends with Republicans, got to see people more than whatever political party they check on the paper. But I remember a lot of Republican people I knew, they watched Fox, like they wasn't a CBS person. I hope I can say this stuff. And then I remember a lot of Democrats, they're more CBS. And I'm sorry, just, I like to observe people, not to judge, just to understand and connect. And I realized they like, if you're a Republican, 9 times out of 10, you're pro-life. Like you have this certain persona you have to believe, a certain belief system, right? You have to have. And then if you're a Democrat, you're more likely, you're pro-choice and you have this certain like belief, right? And I'm like, why people are like that though? Like I met people who are Republicans and say they might almost be 90% of most Republicans like believe in, but they might have some that's a little bit opposite, leaning more towards Democrat, and they feel like they almost say they have to repress it. And the same for Democrats. And I'm like, they're still doing this, divide and conquer. And right now, I feel like a lot of people are coming together because I feel like it's getting to a point now in America where it's going to be ain't gonna be no such thing as a Democrat or a Republican, just because it's just so much BS coming to the surface. And I feel like a lot of us are just getting tired of the tug of war. And what they don't get, no, it's like a lot of Democrats and Republican parties right now and people who represent those parties, they're just doing this tug of war. And it's costing us, not them. It's costing people worrying about their health care. It's people who literally gave their lives to defend this country. Their benefits or their way of, getting by in life is on the line. And I think it's like, I feel so frustrated. I feel like they're puppets. Like, like they're the masters, like the Democrats and Republicans, the parties. They're the masters. And then we're the puppets because we're the ones who have to deal with the outcome of it. They get to hide behind their labels and their so-called, hierarchy. And it's frustrating because I still see how they're dividing and conquering. I just pray that one day all the people of America just let go of all that, let go of the labels and just come together and figure it out on our own.